Welcome back to MJL 3764 collecting Elvis on vinyl. Today is the Elvis on Tour box set update. About 4 days ago I posted a video showing this release. I just got it in, I hadn't had time to look at it properly or listen to it. I've now taken the time to listen to it, and this will be my review of this box set. A lot of people on my last video, quite a few of the comments, to be honest, were either on the fence or very negative about this release. Don't quite know why. Personally, listening to the concerts, the 4 concerts and the 2 rehearsals, I think the sound is fine, absolutely brilliant. Nothing wrong with the sound on this at all. Have heard all the material before, some officially, some unofficially, and I think this is a very good sounding CD. Of course, I know some people are saying that the bootlegs sounded just as good. Unfortunately, my bootlegs were the original older bootleg versions of these concerts. I know later on there was other very good editions, very nicely packaged bootlegs of these concerts, and apparently the sound was very good. I don't have them, so I don't have them to compare to, but to me this is a fine sounding box set. If I had to gripe, and if you wanted me to compare it to something else from 1972, well, if you compare it to this box set, I'd say this one trumps this one. But the only reason that this one would trump this one is An Afternoon in the Garden on this, to me, is absolutely spectacular. They've really exceeded all expectations on this one, so you know, this will be a 10 out of 10 all day long. This maybe be a 9 out of 10, but that's not taking anything away from this box set. It sounds fine. All the drums, bass, guitar, piano all sound just in the right place. You know, Elvis's vocals up there, the horns and the backing, you can hear them when you need to hear them. Yeah, no problem with this sound on this at all for me. So that's got that one out of the way. This is my own opinion. There's 145 tracks on this. Out of the 145 tracks, 96 are concert tracks, 49 are rehearsals. Of the 96 concert tracks, 24 have been issued before, so that leaves 72 officially unreleased songs. The 24 issued before is obviously the concert, the San Antonio concert on the close-up CD, and there's 1 track issued before from the Hampton Roads show, which was on the This Is Elvis LP, and that's that version of An American Trilogy. That was issued in 1981. So let's have a look at the first concert. The first concert was Hampton Roads, April the 9th, 1972. In the movie, this is Elvis in the light blue suit. And this CD runs for 1 hour 7 minutes. It's the longest concert on here out of the 4. It was arguably the best concert on there. Apparently, due to Adage and Abel, they used a lot of the footage in the movie from this concert. You've got songs like CC Rider, Can't Help Falling in Love, Polk Salad Annie, You Gave Me a Mountain, Lordy Miss Claudie, Big Hunk of Love, Sweet Sweet Spirit. They're all from this show. Now I know a lot of people have made quite a bit of remarks about the I Got a Woman. Yes, his vocal is very distant. In the first minute it seems his vocal's distant, and it seems that they try to correct the problem and it sort of disappears for a little bit, then it comes back distant, and then about the 1 minute mark it comes in fine. The only gripe I would have about this is it's fine in the film. This is the version that you actually see in the film, and the quality's fine in the film, so whether they're using different tapes, I don't know. But it's a shame, but it's no big deal really. The only shame about it is it's the only time that Elvis does do I Got a Woman on this set, and we're talking the 1972 live version of I Got a Woman. We're not talking 1976 Well Well Well, I Got a Woman Elvis version. We're talking Elvis doing this really well, lots of energy, lots of power. It's a great version, I think. So it is a little bit of a shame that it's not perfect, but it's still a very good show in very good sound. I'd also like to say there's some great versions of A Big Hunk of Love, Lord of Miss Claudia, and he does Are You Lonesome Tonight, which if you've got this, the Lost Performances, I'm sure you've seen some of the outtakes on here. This does feature Are You Lonesome Tonight, I Can't Stop Loving You, All Shook Up, Teddy Bear Don't Be Cruel. So that was a great release at the time. And of note, during the spoken part, he actually does say I Loved You at First Glance, which he doesn't do often. And of course it is a straight version of Are You Lonesome Tonight, so that was nice to have. So disc 1, very good show. Disc 2 is the Richmond Show, Virginia, from April the 10th, 1972. This has Elvis wearing the red suit, and this one clocks in at 1 hour, 1 minute. Now in the film Elvis on Tour, there isn't a single full live performance of Elvis wearing this suit. You only see him sporadically at the intro, 2001. There's a little clip Until It's Time for You to Go, and there's a little clip on Love Me Tender. But that's the only time you see Elvis from this show in the film. It is a good show. Totally enjoyed it on my bootleg. This is a very old bootleg and it isn't complete. So it's nice to have the show officially complete. Great version, early version of It's Over at this show. Fantastic version of I Can't Stop Loving You. On here I really like the way Elvis was doing that beefed up version in 1972. There's a sloppy version of Bridge Over Troubled Water, a little bit jokey. But yeah, fine performance. I'd also like to point out on American Trilogy, from the Glory Glory bit up to the Hush Little Baby, I've never heard Ronnie Tutt put in so many fills. He really does play heavy on this track. Excellent drumming, of course, from Ronnie Tutt. And as we know, he's not credited in the booklet. That's obviously an oversight on their part. From one drummer to another, that is an absolute disgrace. Terrible, especially 1972. I think Ronnie Tutt was at his peak in 1972. His drumming absolutely excellent all through Elvis's career, but 1972 I thought was a definite high for Ronnie Tutt. He'd lost a little bit of weight. If you look at the pictures of him back in Elvis in 1969, he's quite beefy, and if you look at That's the Way It Is, I mean, you can't miss him in That's the Way It Is. In the rehearsals he's wearing a louder shirt than Elvis, and he's quite chunky. By 1972 he'd slimmed down a lot, all that karate influenced by Elvis, and he's playing really well. Unfortunately by the time of Aloha he'd beefed up again, but still a great drummer. And that, I'm not taking anything away from Bob Lanning or Larry London or Stump, you know, but Ronnie Tutt was the absolute perfect drummer for Elvis, and it's just terrible that he just wasn't credited on there. Just totally sloppy. But not taking anything away from the Richmond gig, brilliant show. Show 3 is Greensboro, and that's what I used to think was the dark blue suit, but I've seen it at the O2 and it's definitely purple now, but it looked quite dark blue to me in the movie. I always thought it was dark blue. This is April the 14th, Greensboro, and this one clocks in at 1 hour 3 minutes, and it's a very good show. It's a great version of Bridge Over Troubled Water, which you can see in the movie, as well as Funny How Time Slips Away and American Trilogy. I think I remember reading, I'm going by memory now, you'll have to excuse me if I got it wrong, I think I remember reading Kathy Westmoreland saying that Elvis had a bad night the night before and was very tired during the Greensboro show, but it doesn't really show. I think it's a very good show. The only thing I would say is Hound Dog, if you listen to that, he seems to switch off during Hound Dog, and that's followed by, I think, Heartbreak Hotel, which is a very slow version of Heartbreak Hotel. It's actually quite like the way he was doing it in 1969, but I like it. I think it's very good. So yeah, another good show. And then we go on to show 4. April the 18th, 1972, San Antonio, Texas, is disc 4. And this is the shortest concert on the set. This runs at 56 minutes. And features Elvis in the movie in this white suit. Songs included in the movie: Proud Mary, Never Been to Spain, and an early version of Burning Love, with Elvis just doing the first 2 verses and then unfortunately cutting off James Burton's solo and the 3rd verse and going into the end of the song. But it was new, so he can be forgiven. Again, it's a very good show. This one, of course, was issued before on the close-up disc. And on that set, as I said on my previous video, it did sound a bit flat to me. Happily, it has been remixed on this one, and it's got a little bit more life on it. If you want to listen to them two side by side, you can. If you want a little tip, I can give you a cheat. The song All Shook Up only runs for a minute in this concert. So if you want to just listen to that one on the close-up disc and then listen to this Elvis On Tour box set, you'll get to see that it does sound a lot better. I mean, the piano on All Shook Up is a lot more upfront, and it's done at quite a quick pace, so Glenn's really thumping away there, and you can hear it a lot more on this box set. So yes, the answer to that is it is an improvement on the close-up set. So that's another plus for this box set. So that's the 4 concerts, all very good shows. Some same material, but great versions of Never Been to Spain, Proud Mary, CC Rider was at full throttle in 1972. Some great performances, but I listened to this over 4 days. I would recommend you do the same. I listen to a concert a day, and in between that I listen to the rehearsals. So I wouldn't binge listen this at all, because it would just all go into one another. You know, you won't get a proper review of it. So sit down and listen to a concert a day. That's my advice. That's what I did. I like to go through the rehearsals as well, but I think we're running short of time, so I might have to make another video for the rehearsals and the Blu-ray. A quick look again at the packaging. Yes, I love the cover. This epitomises Elvis in 1972 to me. It was used as one of the bill posters for On Tour. It deserves to be on the cover. I have this on a t-shirt. Love this photo of Elvis. Brilliant cover, I thought. Brilliant box. Yeah. Problem I have, as I said on my first video, as you can see, they're 32-page booklet with rare photos. I don't see any rare photos in this booklet at all. Again, another good shot. Some nice shots of Elvis, but nothing that I haven't seen before. I'd hardly call them rare. And plus, there's a few shots that I would have liked to have seen if they were using common photos. There's a couple of shots that I would have liked to have seen added actually on here. But a minor gripe. And again, I think everyone said this, and I said it on my early video. I don't know anybody that likes this packaging where the CDs are housed like that, where you can't get them out without scuffing the CDs, or maybe even tearing the box, or even splitting the CDs. I've actually split a CD trying to get them out of one of these holders. It actually cracked. So I don't know why they continue to do that, but they do. But all in all, yeah, the booklet's not bad. The presentation of the box I think is great. CDs are all the same colour. They don't have the concert stamped on them, so just disc 1, disc 2, so that's a little bit cheapy. But apart from that, yeah, very good box set. So we'll go into the rehearsals and the Blu-ray very shortly on another video. Until that time, just remember, what is music? Life's no waste.